Hey everybody, let's talk about what's happening in the Schumann weather and in space weather and everything else. We got big news today in the Russian Schumann resonance, and I've already posted about that. I think we're going to talk a little bit about what the Schumann resonance is, because some people don't seem to know what to think of our posts. So I'm guessing they're new to our tribe. And so let's take a quick look at what's happening with our weather, energy-wise, and then let's do a little overview of what the Schumann resonance is. Hey, Steph. Hey, Rebecca. Hey there, girl. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? This is, of course, the Schumann resonance, especially the Russian model. And this is a live feed, so it shows exactly what's happening right now. Okay, now, let's talk about what this is. How to read it. At the very top, you see the date. And where this comes from, they put the day of the month first, and then they put the month, and then the year. This is the 22nd right there. Come over here. This is the 23rd. And you come over here, and this is today, the 24th. So this covers a span of basically 3 days. Now down here at the bottom, this is the time of day. Now we're looking at the Russian Schumann, and it's going to show you UTC +7. Okay, so I have trouble thinking in UTC or Universal Time, but my cheat sheet is where it says 12. That is midnight where I am in Eastern Standard Time. So count from there at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's what time it is here. It is 10:24. So this is what's happened. This happened earlier. As you can see, being that is midnight, right here, Eastern Standard Time. This spike hit from about 9 in the evening all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4, well, a little after 4 a.m. And it was intermittent a little bit, but this is how you read the time on here, and you arrange it based on where you're from. So UTC is Universal Time, and that works for everyone, but with this being in Siberia, you need to add 7 hours to UTC. Over here to the left, this is the Hertz. And so this is the energy increments available on the spectrogram, which is what this particular chart is for the Russian spectrograph, depends on who you're talking to. Okay, it starts at 0, so the lowest is at the top and the highest is at the bottom, which is counterintuitive to me, but it is. This right here is the the Schumann resonance heartbeat. It is the baseline. It is 7.83 hertz, runs across horizontally, and it will always be there. Okay, this is what they're now calling the second Schumann resonance, third, fourth, and sometimes fifth. Okay, we used to only have one. Used to just be that one horizontal line, and you can see there's also one showing up right now above the regular Schumann resonance. Now, let's talk about how this impacts us. first of all, everything that's horizontal is not a spike. It's not amplitude. That is the Schumann resonance readings. What we watch is the spikes or the amplitude or the quote power unquote, because this is what we feel. The basic Schumann resonance, these horizontal lines, basically stay about the same all the time with very little variance, okay? But these spikes, the vertical lines, they definitely shift and change, and this is what most people feel. Now everybody's like, well, what is this SOS 70? That is the space observing station in Tomsk, Russia. And that's just their little marker to let you know this is their chart. Okay, now here are the colors. Base background is this dark blue, actually black. And then on top of that, the color background is this pretty dark kind of royal blue. Then it goes to, well, it's sort of a teal. Now I'm an artist, so I'm going to use terms. I'm going to try and use normal terms. It's a very light greenish blue. Then after that comes a green. Oh, it's shifting on us. Okay. It comes sort of a lime green, and then yellow, gold, which is orangey, and then red. And the highest and most intense, didn't even used to be on their color chart, is white. White is what we call white out. It means it has overwhelmed the system, and a lot of times it's a lightning strike or something very intense blasts against their instruments, and it whites out. Now we also talk about blackouts and frozen screens, and they are just what that sounds like. There'll be periods of time where there is no information on the live chart. We call that a blackout. If it shows the screen, but it doesn't show any more information either way, neither black or anything, we call that frozen usually. But they are used interchangeably. Now, this is today. Like I said earlier, if you're just showing up, this started about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this white spiking. It at 12, which you see there at the bottom, which is the time, that would be about midnight Eastern Standard Time. It lasted until about 4 in the morning, and the residue of it will remain with us for a while. Now, the next question you may wonder is, well, what does that have to do with me? Okay, your brain waves amazingly correspond with the Schumann resonance. Isn't that interesting? So when the Schumann resonance is spiking, unusually, perhaps it goes up above 336 hertz, that puts you into a sort of gamma range, they call it. That means your brain is going to probably be sympathetically ramped up to gamma wave. Now, that's not a negative thing. It's just a very fast wave. It doesn't happen a whole lot, but it does happen quite a bit now. So what I'm trying to say is our brains go into coherence with the Schumann resonance. And each one of your brain waves has certain behavior attached to it. Some of these hertz cycles in the brain are where you are when you're sleeping. So if that's what's happening on the Schumann resonance, you may be very sleepy that day. If you go on up a little higher, you're going to go into alpha wave, would be the name of that number, hertz. And that is a very creative place for you. Oh, Maureen, what's getting ready to happen here? She said, You're funny. Thank you. She sent me 250 stars. Thank you, Maureen. I appreciate it. That comes out to about $2.50 for those of you who are not familiar with the star system on Facebook. Thank you, Maureen. I'm feeling the love. So, where was I? So, alpha wave is common for humans, but more for children. Children live in this beautiful place of imagination. Oh, there goes the cat. Whee! They're having a zooming right now. Alpha wave is a place of daydreaming and creativity. And artists and creative people hang out in that spot quite a bit too. I think I do. I was accused of that in my everyday work jobs. I was a professional illustrator for a publishing house. I was also their camera person. I ran a 15-foot camera. And when I was working on my artwork, they would find me sitting at my desk, staring at nothingness to them, but they didn't know I was seeing the new illustration. I was in alpha wave. We all experience these different brain waves, and where the Schumann resonance is influences that. And I have a little chart where I've illustrated the correspondence, and I will try to remember to put that up for you. This is one of the main reasons we watch the Schumann resonance, for those of you who are new. And by the way, don't be discouraged. It's a big subject. Space weather and Schumann resonance is really a big subject, and you're probably not going to pick it up overnight, okay? But as you hang out with us, you'll start understanding and knowing this stuff for yourself. So, why do we watch it? It's because it influences us and the people around us, the way we feel physically, emotionally, mentally, you name it. It even affects your pets. According to research, the Schumann resonance affects all mammals and more. When they sent people up into space, they found that people were not doing so great. And so they piped in the Schumann resonance, and everybody started feeling better, and their bodies behaved better, and their minds, etc., and brain behaved better. The Schumann resonance only exists in the atmosphere of the Earth. So from the Earth crust up to the top of our atmosphere, the ionosphere, this wave occurs up and down, and it goes all the way around the world. So the Schumann resonance is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Now, it is formed out of lightning and other energetic expressions that happen in the earth, like volcanic eruptions can spike energy out. Earthquakes can spike out energy. And then there's such a thing as sprites and other types of energetic expressions. They don't just dissipate. They go up into our atmosphere, and they begin to cycle in what's called the Schumann wave. So this is our real live world, okay? And this influences us in a very real way. Let me give you my quick story. Many of you have heard it, but for those of you who are new and have not heard it, I started watching the Schumann resonance, I guess, back in 2017. I noticed it on Facebook. I noticed a live feed about it, and I started watching it, and for something inside me said, this is interesting, check it out. And so I started watching this live feed, and I went to the actual Russian site online, which is very hard to get to now. They have made it where it's hard for people to watch it. They tried to monetize it at one time. I don't think that went really well. but they put everything into Russian only, and they scrambled their site around, and so you have to really hunt to find the Schumann charts. I rarely go and look anymore because of that. And the people I've dealt with at the Tomsk University, where this comes from, are very nice. But they're hard to get to now. And I think there may be some things connected with the world in general that is influencing the availability. But there are still live feeds that you can find on different apps. This one I'm using right here is the Quick Schumann check. This is what it looks like. You can look it up. It's just Schumann Resonance in the App Store. I'm also using this one called Earthbeat. It has clearer images, which works better for me because I post a lot of these things for you all to see that are different. They show different aspects and different orders. But also, let's skip on over here. I also use this, which is online. There is no app that will show you all of these alternative charts, okay? Right here, this shows where lightning is in this area, and this is Italy. You can see the Italian boot. There's very little. There's none in Cumiana. There's very, very little showing up anywhere. So the odds of this influencing the charts very much is pretty slight. Okay, so here we have Cumiana. Now remember, we're watching spikes. That's vertical. We call that power or amplitude. We're watching the spikes. This is a geophone. This strip across the top here, the background, the blue is the background. On top of that, we have this pink fuchsia color and white, which shows more intensity. You can see spiking up there too, and it's reflected in this other one, which I don't know what to call it. It shows a lot of things. Now, this is your legend, and you can see this applies to the geophone more, I think. But there's not a lot happening here. We are seeing a little man-made interference right there. Now, this was our spike last night. This particular chart shows you a wide range of time in increments, okay? That was a while back. This is the energy overall right here. You can look at the legends on all of these to follow what's happening. Here was a big spike, showed up on this graph. Here's a little bit there too. Now, we're moving into a different chart. And this, I put my glasses on for reading. This is Etna Radio Observatory. Now, you can see all kinds of things here. Lots of activity. Lots of activity. We won't go into a whole lot. Here's one of these odd anomalies we've been watching. The two lines, and a lot of the chart is missing. And then you come on down, and this is Etna Observatory also, and look at all the nice purple, angelic intervention. That's what we like to think about. And we welcome angelic intervention, absolutely. All right, and this is showing us the magnetic field. This is Cassina, Italy. And we have some very interesting things happening here. More anomalies. Look at that. Isn't that odd? I wonder what that's about. And all these little dots attached to it, but this sort of diagonal candy cane effect. And sorry, it's jiggly. When I enlarge, things shake more. We have spikes showing up at different intervals. And here's these funny dots again. More anomalies. Oh. Thank you, Ega. Thank you. She says, thanks a lot. This time, press right button. Love what you do. Thank you so much. She sent me 500 stars, and I'm feeling the love, y'all. That's $5, and that is a blessing to me. It helps me pay my bills, the real world, and it gives me the ability to do more of this for you all. And look down here. There's that. So it's showing up on both of these. We have it here, and then we have it down here, all those funny little dots. And we have anomalies down here also. This is still Cassina, and there have been a lot of them. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Look at the way it's showing that funny thing that looked like a candy cane earlier. These are all energy signatures. They're all things influencing these charts. And look here. This one is very much diagonal, surrounded by, look at this, like an arrow shape of those little stair steps. I don't know, y'all. Something's up. Something's definitely up. And moving on through, you can see these odd, floaty, vaporous signatures there again. We got a big spike happening at the end on that graph. Lots of activity here. Tons of it. More anomalies. And I suspect this is one of the candy canes. But this is in Anatos, which is actually a mine in an island off of Italy, and it's got anomalies like crazy going on there, and has had, and it is showing these crazy things. But so are the French charts. And here's another one over here. I've noticed some people playfully compared this to what I guess is fish radar, where they fish and it shows what's under the surface. I've never seen that in person, but a lot of people are having fun with it, and that's good. I think having fun with things is a very good idea. Anyway, you look at it, somebody said that I wasn't one of those people, they said it this morning in the comments, I wasn't one of those people that saw the cup or the glass half full. I saw it full when it was empty. I think they were trying to compliment me. I do enjoy life, and I like to have a good time, and I like to make fun and enjoyment everywhere I can. And it also helps soften some of these energies, because, you know, you can feel this, and some people it hits them hard. And if we can go into our right side of our brain, which is the creative side, this is the side that would work in alpha. It would be in the daydreams and the creativity. If you come over here, it's not linear. It's not A, B, C, D to Z. You can go quantum on the right side of your brain, and that's the more limitless, childlike quantum way to come at things. You can grasp things in the right side of your brain suddenly and get it quick and be in the more spiritual realm too. If you go left brain, it's linear, gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to 10, etc. And it's very rigid, logical, and there's a good place for all that, absolutely. But when you're reaching out and grasping things that have never happened before in history, when you're seeing new things come, and you're experiencing new things, it's better if you can do it in the right side of your brain. So if you can access that fun, loving thing in you, you will suffer a lot less. And I'm trying to help you all do that too. But I believe integrity is really important too. So I'm not going to tell you the glass is full if it's empty. I will present it to you factually, but I will try to find something good or present it with a little something and encourage you to feel peaceful. Because the bottom line is, this is all in the eye of the beholder. You can call it mind over matter. You can call it faith. You can call it belief. Look at this. You can say that we are co-creators with the divine creator. But what we think, what we say, what we do, what we imagine has a great deal to do with what we're experiencing and what is happening around us. And it certainly has a great deal to do with how it influences us and affects us. Okay, that's all the alternative charts, y'all. And I guess you saw the little floaty, vaporous things were also in the French chart. I didn't point that out, but I'd say you got that. Now, when we're dealing with the alternative charts that we just looked at, usually the highest, most intense power is going to be red. Whereas if you're dealing with the Russian Schumann, your most intense is going to be white. But they both experience what we call black spikes. And we observe anecdotally that there are timeline shifts that occur during those times and during that kind of a signature. And we watch those and we've experienced it. I've experienced some very graphically, and I know it sounds crazy. I would have thought it sounded just crazy a matter of a couple, 3 years ago. But I've gotten now where I realize, gee whiz, this is really happening. You know, Scripture says, for the sake of the elect, time would be cut short. Time is definitely being fiddled with. Okay, y'all, that's my humble opinion. We're taking a look at the geospace magnetosphere cut planes. Why do we watch this? For you newbies, there is a reason. It's not just entertaining and fun pictures. Right here is Earth. It's half white, half black. That's day side, night side. This is Earth over here. This is basically the same thing from a slightly different angle over here than that. This is the shields, the shield of the Earth. It is the bow shock or bow shock. I like to say bow shock because it looks like a bow and arrow. And the energies come in from the left side over here, the direction of where the sun is compared to Earth, and our magnetosphere, which is this whole thing that sort of is like a sideways teardrop that comes from the shield area all the way back out of sight here. The energies come, you can see them hitting here kind of with these vertical lines and bouncing the shields. The shields are there supposedly to protect us from crazy bursts of energy. It looks fairly calm right now. This is velocity. And here's your legend. The most intense is blue and green, then yellow, orange, and red. Dark red is the background. This is density. Once again, Earth, atmosphere, shields, and the most intense is dark blue. White is the background. And you can see the time is a 3-hour line at the bottom. And you can see this slider coming across. That lets you know where we are. And the time is right here. Right here it's showing 1500 UTC. And this is about now. So there's stuff coming, but it's not knocking our socks off at this point. This is pressure. The most intense is red, then orange, yellow, baby blue, and then dark background in the back blue in the background, and then Earth. We're surrounded by pressure. You can barely see the bow shock or the shields, and it's fairly calm compared to what it has been like. We watch this because this gives us a view of what's happening in the front yard of the Earth. This is not something that's going to happen. This is something that has happened 3 hours ago here, hour and a half here, and this is now. So this is showing us not what's coming, except for right at the end it prognosticates a little bit. This shows us what has been and what is going on. When we go to space weather, and this may be just too much to cover all at once, but let's give it a shot, shall we? Now, let's refresh. This is spaceweatherlive.com, and this is an app. It's also a website. So you can go get hold of this and watch this yourself. The KP index is only at 3 right now, which is very normal. They are expecting KP 5 for today. The Aurora oval is barely even showing up at all. It's quite calm. Hemispheric power is way down. Solar wind is still a little high at 556.2 kilometers per second. Density has had some bursts. That's at 17.29, which is nothing compared to what we have seen. We've seen it up in the 80s and 90s recently quite a bit. That's fairly calm, just slightly elevated. We are in BZ North, which means we're not going to feel it as much, whatever is happening. We're not storming in the Disturbance Storm Time Index, and Chipper has joined us. Hey, Chipper. Okay, this is the moon phase right now. So, yes, you'd like to say hi. Hi to the tribe. Yeah. Cute cat. He likes messing with this thing. Lately I've noticed this. This was given to me by some lovely people who watch our page. And this is really cool. It's set to the Schumann resonance. So you can boing it. I don't know if you can hear that. But anyway, he loves this thing. He's always rubbing against it. It's kind of funny. Okay, now, this is the amount of sunspots that are on the sun right now. This is the sun. These numbers are sunspots, which have been registered and given a number. What is a sunspot? That's where solar flares come from. They are energetically, magnetically interactive holes. Look at this strange cat. This is something new. He loves that. He's licking it, you funny boy. I just don't get it. There's something in it he really likes. Okay, so this is showing us where we might get solar flares and other solar activity. This is coronal holes. This means it's a hole in the coronal coating, the fiery plasma coating of the sun. Out of these come impressive solar winds and detritus. We have a tiny one right there, which is going to be Earth-facing pretty soon. And this one is also, but it's down low, and those don't affect us as much. Okay, moving on through, we're not going to look at everything. This is where we would see solar flares if there was anything significant happening. And solar flares are eruptions off of the sun that shoot out, and if they're Earth-facing, they can give us a pretty good, exciting experience. Solar flares run in this range. The very low ones are A and B. We don't pay mind to those. C is a small flare, but if it's a high C, meaning it has high numbers attached to it, we do notice that. And then an M is strong flare. X is a major flare. And we had major flares recently. We had X flare, which was cool and momentous. And if you're sensitive, you can feel these things when they shoot off, even before they reach Earth. Even on the far side of the sun, I can feel them. Okay, and we go over how to deal with these energies quite a lot on our page. things you can do, things you can wear, technology you can access, and very simple things you can do to help yourself process. We're still having a wee bit of a solar storm, okay, but it's much less than it was. Anytime these separate, this is actually 3 lines. You can only see fuchsia and green right now, but there is a blue one in here, and if you touch it, you can see it. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to another chart and see more data right here. Let's touch that. Takes us over here, and we can see solar flares on a different line. This shows if there's a lot of activity coming off the sun. This shows us some solar flare happening, but it's probably on the other side. This gives us an overall view of Earth. You see the continents represented, and this is where daytime is right now. That's solar radiation showing up. Okay, let's come up here to this triangle, and that will give us the current warnings and alerts. The only thing they have is solar wind is currently moderately high, 569.97 kilometers per second. This is old news. This is back to the 22nd. Okay, beloved, this is like a zoom through. I don't know what else we might need to go over, but we'll talk about things you can do to surf these energies. We talk about and we play with the Schumann wave lingo, because I talked about earlier there is a Schumann resonance wave. It goes all around the earth in the atmosphere. So we talk about surfing it on our surfboards, our proverbial surfboards. And that means you're not letting it pull you under. You're not letting yourself get beat up and pulled down and messed up by the energies. On the contrary, when you're surfing them, you can use them. You can implement them in your life. You can create things with it. You can set your intentions and sort of use the solar energies from solar flares, space weather, the Schumann resonance, sort of like fodder or fuel for you to give yourself that extra energy to push forward in areas of your life. With your intentions, with your imaginations, with your meditations, with your prayers, with your faith, with your heart, etc., etc. We are not helpless victims here. We really are not. Scripturally, we are co-creators with Creator, Prime Creator, with the Lord, and we are made in the image of our Creator, of Source, which means we have what it takes in us to actually make things happen and show up or manifest, all these little terms that we use. So, yes, I guess I am a more positive type person, but I'll tell you a secret, if I wasn't, I'd probably be dead. I have lived a very challenging life. I have faced incredible opposition, as many of you have. I have come through multiple, quote, terminal, incurable diseases, and I don't have them anymore. And I'll give you a hint. I know who healed me, and I cooperated with Him, and in my case, that my go-to, the love of my life, is Jesus, the Lord Jesus. And I know that it's limitless. And I have seen amazing healings. I've been involved in amazing healings. Please don't let my terminology offend you. Don't let it click on some sort of category in your mind from some past negative experience. I'm not those people at all. And we're focused on love, and I accept you all just the way you are, and I thank you for accepting me just as I am too. I have been involved in raising someone from the dead. I've told that on here. I have seen tumors the size of a fist disappear in about 4 minutes as I laid hands on somebody and prayed in awareness with my oneness with Creator. I know this stuff. I've experienced it. And many of you are like me. You're seekers. And yeah, Krista said, real talk. This is. I have trouble being fluffy in the things I talk about. I may like to have fun and I may tend to be positive, but I'm also very real. And when you face death over and over, and we're brought up in a abusive SRA situation, I said that quickly, you start discovering that there are things you don't even remember showing up in the last 3 years of your life, and I'm getting ready to turn 65. It's a challenge, and I will move forward, as many of you are. If you're a true truth seeker, truth will be found by you. But you must be willing to accept whatever that truth is and have no opinion of your own when you're asking. You got to reach a blank spot where you're willing to accept the truth, even if it doesn't fit inside your belief system. And it's tough to do, but I know you all are the best. You all really are the most unique, and you're the best. This is the kindest group. We see very little crude, mean behavior on here, which is famous for social media. We just don't have it. And when it does happen, it's rare. It's somebody who came on here thinking this is like every place else, but it's not. And I've seen you all comfort each other. I've seen you all come and circle around someone who has lost a loved one, a pet. I've seen you come around people who are going through tough physical things, whether it's connected to these energies or something else. You are a beautiful family, a beautiful tribe. And those of you I call my Schumannites, I am a Schumannite also. Schumann, knight with a K, as in swords and bucklers and doing warfare and standing for what is right. And we war in love. And you all are precious and valuable. And as we hold that high frequency of divine, unconditional, LOVE, love, capitalized, we really are changing our world. All right, y'all. I think we've covered a whole lot in a short time, and I hope this was beneficial to you all. I hope that you got, those that are new, got some technical understanding and maybe trust me a little bit more. And thank you. Oh my goodness. Was that Nicole? Sent me 1,000 stars. Thank you. Wow, that's $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. I hope this was beneficial and helpful. And I hope that I gave you enough information that you'll understand more what you're seeing. But believe me, when I write that something is walloping us or blasting or whatever term, bam, whatever term I use, I'm putting it in a right brain, playful way that will help us absorb this truth and process it in a right brained, playful way so that it will go in and you will be in the place of unlimited quantum position in your right brain to be able to process it and flow with it and not get stuck in your logical reptilian brain. I think reptilian says a whole lot. So flow with me, you all. And I have the best and highest respect for you all. I love you. And I'm not going to go into the things you can do right now because this has gone long enough, and maybe I'll repost this in the future. But I will drop charts in to the comments. I will drop information about my quantum energy shop where you can purchase scalar pendants and other really cool tools. This also, these literally will bring your body into a different place, and your mind and your energy. We carry genuine, bona fide, elite shungite, all kinds of energy quantum pendants and things. If you purchase over like $60 worth, or $55 worth, wow, look at that, interesting hair. And Chipper's here again, wanting to talk. If you buy over $55 worth, which would be one of these pendants, any of these $55 ones, I will give you a free sticker to put on your phone. I know a guy who sells these for almost $100. I give these to you all. These, and Chipper is here on the table, being a part of everything. You put these on your phone or your iPad or whatever, and it neutralizes, depending on the particular sticker, the 96% or 99.9% of EMF. And I never hold my cell phone against my head. If you can keep from it, don't do it. Because these things influence us. All of this influences us. And this little cat is whacking things with his tail. Aren't you, boy? You just want to say hi to the tribe. He's curling his little paws in pleasure. I love you all. I'm going to go, and I will drop some things in the comments, link to my quantum shop, as well as things you can do and lists of things you can do to feel better and flow better. Mwah! Love you a ton.